All right, so Commissioner, tell me, everyone we've spoken to has essentially described their odyssey through the VEC in terms of feeling completely alone, unable to contact somebody, unable to, when they do reach someone, find someone that can actually help them. So we've talked before, you and I, just about the measures that are in place, the changes that you're affecting. And yet the number one criterion for most people seems to be, can I reach somebody that can help me at the VEC? Have you been able yourself to experience what that might feel like? That is, the experience of the claimant who needs help.
Yeah, Bill, so I receive emails every day from our customers. I talk to them on the phone. It's very important to me to have that interaction with them firsthand. It shows to me and demonstrates to me the real challenges that our customers are having, and we use those to help us improve all of our processes. Also, one of the first things I did when I was commissioner was, okay, people complained because I couldn't get through to our customer call center, right? Get a call through or answered. The first time I called, I hung up. I abandoned my call because I didn't have a claim, so I couldn't even talk to anybody. So what we did was we made some improvements. We improved that experience, and we said, okay, we need to change it so somebody can just ask a general question. And we've made that change so that people can make those general questions. But we also took the script and took out everything that was not relevant anymore and really minimized that conversation so that you could people longer when they had to wait, so that they didn't abandon those calls, so we could reduce our abandonment rate by over 50%. But the next time I called, I still had to wait, and the next time I called, I still had to wait. And then finally, it was a great day when I could call and get through in 43 seconds. So I do those calls myself. It's very important to me that I understand and that I listen to our customers. We happen to be a public agency, but we need to run it like a business. These are customers. These are not only the customers, but they're also owners of this business as Virginians. So it's really important to me to understand the challenges that they're facing.
So some of the issues that we've dealt with, and most recently, was the delays in processing certain elements of what the VEC does. The Department of Labor sets certain standards and then basically ranks all the states each quarter and how well they've done. Starting out with, for example, we talked about a moment ago, the first payment getting out within that 21-day window, 14 days or 21 if there's a week's wait. Virginia is 50th out of 51, really only ahead of the Virgin Islands in that they only pay 20% within that 21-day window. That's the first quarter of this year. What do you say about that, and how are you in the process of changing that? Because clearly one would think with that kind of ranking, you want to change that.
Yeah, Bill, so 2 years ago, before the pandemic set in, the agency, the VEC, was at a 50-year low in funding, and at one moment received 50 times the normal number of claims. The agency didn't receive any additional support in staffing or funding until a year and a half into the pandemic. The agency was swimming. The governor talked about this on the campaign. It was not a customer-friendly or customer-driven approach agency. And so the first thing that we did when we came into the office was really set up a plan of how do we eliminate the backlog, how do we transform the agency to be best in class, and then how do we build an agency that is reflexive and responsive to the economy of the future. We've had some significant progress in that. We had 276,000 separation reports when we came in, and we eliminated that backlog in March. And why is that important? Because we need to know if there is a dispute or not between the employee and the employer. We also had a significant number of unpaid claims that were not paid, and we are now reduced that backlog by 95%, and that includes the new claims that have come in that time frame. For those folks who have made an initial claim, and they have truly been laid off, no fault of their own, there's no dispute between the individual and their employer, those folks get paid in 14 days. What we have seen is a significant number of potential fraud that is impacting that number. But it is important to us that we protect our employers, the trust funds, and our customers from potential overpayments and make sure that those are true Virginians who have earned those benefits before we pay them.
And yet that's a problem that's particular to Virginia, meaning if you factor those folks out, Virginia, you seem to suggest, would rank higher. But why is that hitting Virginia harder than 49 other states, for example?
You know, Bill, if you look at the stats for the VEC across the board, the agency is not performing. And it actually was starting to decline in performance prior to the pandemic. We have a lot of work to do. And each backlog that we remove impacts another backlog. But for example, in the appeals, we have reduced that backlog by over 31%. We have written more decisions, appeals decisions, in the first 5 months than when it was written in all of 2021. Does that mean that we're caught up? No. But it means we are making little steps to make big little victories to move progress forward.
So as far as the backlog of appeals, there were some 56,000 as of May. And for the first quarter ending March 31st, another case where Virginia was 50th out of 51 with just under 3% even heard by 40 days in the segments. So the average appeal time was 310 days, ahead of only Alabama. I mean, that's what you're talking about, that backlog. So reducing that by 31%, how will you achieve that, assuming, like you said, you clear one backlog, you've got them somewhere else. How do you keep up with the new appeals?
So one of the challenges was, Bill, is when the technology for the agency went online in last fall, which created a number of issues for the appeals area. And that also impacted when you could schedule hearings. We also, the customers we talked about, right, they didn't hear anything. They didn't know if they were going to get their benefits paid. So what we found was that meant people went and started appealing their decision when they didn't even have a decision to appeal. So there was a significant number of folks that didn't have a true appeal that we need to remove. We also had a number of cases that were not even logged into the system. So we were moving through making sure that all of those cases are logged into the system. Because if they're not logged into the system, I call the customer call center, and what happens then? They can't find my appeal. So like I said, there is a lot of work to do. We have made some progress, but if you are one of those folks, and we keep the customer at the center of everything that we do. So if you are waiting for a decision, we understand that nobody else matters. It is you. And so we want to keep that perspective. And that is our motivation every day, to get up and improve the system so we can get more Virginians paid, get this backlog removed, and build an agency that is built on business-led principles, not on just DOL standards and reports.
So what does that mean in terms of saying we've eliminated more or less, apart from the new ones coming in, this 56,000 backlog? Is it something that we could expect by the end of the year? Is it something that's going to take several years to work through? Because as you said, if you have 50 to 60 people working on appeals, they can do 1,000, 1,500, maybe 2,000 a week. That's many weeks to clear 56,000 cases. What are the markers that we should be looking for to know that that has happened?
Yeah, so we went through a whole process and looking through the appeals that were still not logged into the system and took out those appeals that were not true appeals. We're now doing that same process for those appeals that were keyed into the system to make sure that they are true appeals. We're also triaging and sitting down with the team to see, okay, how can we expedite some of these cases and how can we treat them in a manner so we can move through these quickly. The big challenge here, Bill, is that you have to have a hearing for most of these cases. It is not just I look at this piece of paper, I look at that piece of paper, and I make a decision. This is a true administrative law hearing. And so we are working on those processes to see how we can move through those. It is not as quick and as efficient as we would like it to be. There's also some automation that we're looking into the front end of the process. So as soon as the hearing's ready to go, everything is teed up and we're ready to move through that hearing. So there's multi-approach factors that we've got to take into this whole process. And so we are looking at on a daily basis and working with our teams. We set up in January and really hyper-focused in February of working with our backlog teams. We meet every morning at 9:30. We look at our progress from the day before. We talk about our challenges. We talk about new ideas of how we can move through these backlogs. And then we test out things. So even going through the appeals backlog, it started out as a test. We said, let's look at 100 appeals and let's see what those look like. And we found through those 100 appeals that most of those were not true appeals. So we took it to 3 days. again, we had the same results. And so then we took a big focus with the entire team and said, we've got to move through all of these, get out the appeals that are not true, get those that logged into the system that are, and let's get scheduling these hearings. And so it's not easy, right? It's a lot of work to be done, and we are continuing to look and see how we can address where we can and how we can get through those quicker.
Tell me about the people who have been notified that they've been overpaid by the VEC. Folks could apply for a waiver until the end of this month, and we're in the last week of the month now. If somebody, for example, is notified this week that they've been overpaid, obviously they're not going to hear about it. If they get overpaid this week, they'll hear about it next week or beyond. Is that June 30th deadline for the waiver, given the fact that the VEC has to send people the waiver in the first place? You can't just call up and say, hey, I need a waiver, can you send it to me? What is the VEC doing to be perhaps flexible about that, or is that iron gate coming down on June 30th, and if you haven't got that waiver in, you owe that money, or you're essentially on the hook?
Yeah, so Bill, we've waived over $60 million so far between state and federal programs for those individuals who fell into that time frame where there was a state waiver that we could apply. Virginia is not typically a waiver state, so this was an exception to the rule of how, because these folks were being overpaid through no fault of their own, and they could have been paid some time ago, and then realized, because we had the backlog of separation reports, the assumption was that if you could self-certify yourself that you had actually been employed. So there were a lot of factors that took away from the normal integrity of the process. And so those folks who fall within the time frame of the waiver, we will continue to apply them. Really at the end of that is when, in July 1, when we'll start looking at overpayments and asking people if they don't fall within that waiver time frame and they don't qualify for the waiver, then we'll start working on overpayment repayment plans. That's what happens July 1. So those folks, we will continue to treat them. We have almost exhausted the $18.5 million that the General Assembly had set aside to recover for the trust fund from UI trust funds, but we are actively working through those. It also takes, once we found an overpayment has been determined, it's 30 days until we can mail out that to the claimant. So there is always that delay, right? There are certain things that have to be established in that. And folks only have to send back one waiver for their overpayments. We just need one. And then we'll look for qualifications and apply the waiver as long as we have those waivers applicable during that time frame for an overpayment, not because of July 1 happening.
And what about the 6,800 or so people that the VEC notified had gotten an incorrect overpayment notice? Have all of those folks been contacted and taken care of?
So we're still in the process of working through that, but those individuals, so there was a conversion issue for the agency when it went live in last fall, to let them know that there is no overpayment, that they don't owe anything, that they are solvent.
So that is good to hear, because we got a call or email from one of those people, but we had already talked about it earlier, and I felt that was in the works. The upgrade that you've talked about, as far as getting on the new portal, the satellite branches or the other bureaus or offices of the VEC, we talked earlier that some of the staff there didn't seem quite familiar with the software or the technology, so to speak. Would you recommend that claimants, that customers, not necessarily go there to get help, because are there certain things that they cannot do, or are they being brought up to speed where in a sense it'll be seamless whether you go there, whether you go online, whether you show up at the main office or not?
Yeah, so there were a number of challenges that with the new system coming on last fall. The system was we just certified that we would take on the project and take it over in March, because it wasn't until then that the system ran 30 days without a major defect. There are still a number of issues that have got to be resolved in that system to make it work the way it needs to. But what we have done is we have found, and we had an assessment, we just brought on a trainer, a full-time trainer for our adjudication team, who did an assessment of all of our adjudicators, and we found that there was two issues. Folks that had challenges, who had worked on the old system and had technology challenges with how to use the new system, And then folks who had challenges because 90% of the adjudicators had been hired during the pandemic, and how to make the best decisions. So we've done individualized training based and meeting people where they are, working to get more people to be BTQ certified, which means they meet all the labor standards and how they run the process. So there is a lot of work to do, but we also have 2 workforce services folks in each workforce service center who can help with some of the issues, in particular identity issues and some of the other basic issues, to make sure that there's a little tweak or a little bit of information that's wrong, and we can get that updated in the system and get them to pay.
Through some
Right.
process.
Yeah, and so we talked a lot about the potential fraud. So when we first looked and tested how many people can use the online portal system, we only had about 20% of the folks that could get through to the system. Well, why? Because the agency had such a huge cyber attack in the November-December timeframe. And so that's the balance between the integrity of the system and getting folks in. But we've got to figure that out. We need to have more folks be able to use the electronic means. It reduces time, it reduces error, and it gets people a decision quicker. We had legislation that was passed this session that makes it mandatory for the employers, who already, most of them voluntarily, were filing all their claim information electronically, but now it's mandatory. So we really need to make sure that we can improve the outcomes of folks being able to get in the online portal, and that's really important to us.
So do you have a time frame for that? Like somebody, like you mentioned, 20% getting through, will it be 80% next month or at the end of the year, or?
So we're a little over 40%, we hover between 40 and 50%, but the challenge is the bad actors always come up with new ways, right? So we need to continue to adjust and be reflexive, and how do we protect the integrity of the system and make sure that we also try to balance that with how we get more folks to be able to use the electronic portal.
Staff turnover was reported as high as 40% at some point. Maybe that was a pandemic number. Are you confident that you're able to retain staff? And as you mentioned, the ongoing training sort of to bring different categories of employees up to speed on how things work, to get out of their silos a little bit. Is staff turnover an issue for you?
So Bill, something that's really important to me and my leadership style is I have very high expectations of myself. I have very high expectations that everybody that works around me. But I firmly believe that everybody has within them what it takes. And so we need to get these people skilled and trained to bring them up to that level, have people willing to raise their hand and say, I need help. Will you help me so that I can understand this better? That's really, really important. Our agency is not going to look like it does today, a year from now, regardless, because the federal funding is going away. We know we're going to have reduction of staff from contractors who will no longer be supporting us. So we really need to fundamentally get the team and evaluate, and we'll be having an assessment with a consultant of what is our fullest potential of our agency, what the skills need to look like. But by and large, we've had a very energized team for a team that's been so exhausted from the pandemic. And so, we try to rally the troops every day and get them to understand, okay, yesterday might have been a tough day, but here's why. These were the challenges that were faced. Let's address those head on, and we're all here together. So we all got to pitch in. This is a team effort. I just get the honor of helping to lead this team, but I really, really believe that everybody has the capabilities to do it, but also understands that people have been through great challenges, and a lot has been asked, and a lot is still going to be asked. As you talked about our numbers, our goal is to be number one. Our goal is not just to make incremental change. Our goal is to become best in class, to become the best employment commission in the country. And the responses that I've gotten from the folks that have done the individualized training, we've also had mandatory agency-wide customer service training. Folks are really appreciative that there's time to spend on them and their development as a professional, and that's really important that we keep doing that.
Well, you kind of already touched on it. When you said best in class, obviously you're going to get quarterly rankings from the DOL. What can you say about when each quarter's numbers come out, about what you expect to see there? Even if those aren't the criteria that you prefer, 3 months, well, actually we're almost at the end of the second quarter,
Right.
so like a month from now, what will we be saying about the second quarter? What will we say about the third? Sort of to sum up, what is your marker for, okay, that quarter we did all right. Hey, this quarter we did better. This quarter, et cetera. How do you judge that?
Yeah, so I think what our fundamental difference in how we approach work every day is that we're not waiting for that quarter to come out. We're not waiting for the next quarter to come out. We are looking at our individual performance as an agency, as a unit, as individuals every day to see how we can improve that process. And as we move through these backlogs that we had in the beginning of the year and try to then increase those, it is going to, it is a lot of work. We've made some good progress. We've got a long way to go. So we measure ourselves daily. And then we also want to compete, right? We want to compete with those across the country. So it's also having conversations with other states. Those who are at the top, talk to them, see what they're doing differently. Some of them have smaller populations. Some of them didn't shut down in the pandemic. So they didn't experience the same thing that the Commonwealth experienced by being shut down. So, it's taking all of those factors in, but we want to be at the top. We want to be best in class. We know it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's probably not going to happen next quarter. But we want to see over the next year some significant progress in that direction.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Commissioner.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill.